Hello and welcome to The Credit Shift. I'm Paul Sweeney, co-founder and chief strategy officer here at Webio, and this week I will be bringing you some of the recent stories, events, reports and trends in the credit industry. Okay, let's dive into the details. In general industry news, recently UK neobank Monzo posted its first ever full year profit as high interest rates and a growth in subscriptions buoyed revenues. While £15.4 million is a modest profit for a bank, it's been a change from the grow at all costs in fintech strategies over the past few years. It saw an 84% growth in its loan book, which generated around a quarter of all its revenues. This is on the back of a tripling of its loan book in 2023. Starling Bank also reported its third consecutive year of profitability as its revenues rose by 51%. Again, this was related to a 53% boost in its loan book. Online bank Revolut swung to a pre-tax profit of £438 million in 2023 on strong user growth and interest-related income. The company almost doubled its revenue to $1.8 billion, its annual report revealed. The company is also reportedly seeking a $40 billion valuation. Interesting to see that Revolut has 2.7 million customers in Ireland, and in a recent fintech podcast I was listening to, the Irish market was pointed out as a high growth market because the competition was not particularly strong. According to a new report by TransUnion called Consumer Credit Monitoring, nearly 1 in 5 consumers who actively monitor their credit are using their credit score to better manage credit usage and to reach their goals by paying down debts. 33% of customers actively manage their credit information to enhance their scores, and 25% prioritize debt arrangement and fraud protection. Companies might benefit by making such services available for free and marketing them to their customers and prospects, according to TransUnion. Of course, this is for customers who have taken it upon themselves to monitor their own credit rating. Clearly, if this sort of activity was as easy as looking in your Apple Wallet, well, more people would probably manage their financial reputation in this way, and maybe we'll come back to that. In what for me anyway was a bit of a shock announcement, Apple is saying it is withdrawing from the buy now pay later market. No reasons were given, but this seems to be framed as we experimented with the service with limited customers and have decided not to pursue it. However, other buy now pay later service providers such as Klarna, Affirm, etc. will be available as checkout options, and I suspect they will end up paying Apple a toll for this privilege. This comes in the same week that Apple has collaborated with OpenAI in an apparently zero fees relationship, where the logic of this technology relationship was still to be fully explained. And we'll come back to that point later. Amazon has also announced that it would no longer accept Shopify Pay on its platform within Europe. Obviously, both companies want to control the checkout experience and reap the financial rewards and the data involved in that payment checkout process. In Section 2, we'll look at some fintech, buy now, pay later, AI, and related news. In AI news, you may have noticed that Apple launched Apple Intelligence. It drew widespread and, let's face it, unexpected praise from industry commentators. AI LLMs were behind features such as more on-target, contextually smart notifications that might help you manage your time and attention better, a new ubiquitous set of writing tools that give you more confidence in your writing tasks, and new Siri assistant capabilities that, by linking deeply into your mobile apps, can maybe now do some of the interesting things for you that we were always hoping that they would. Deeply incremental work here from Apple in that all the AI has serious rails around them. Most of the processing is done on device on Apple Silicon, and any external connections to OpenAI services is through Apple's own server cloud. Their phrase was powerful intelligence with powerful privacy. For me, what the impact of this is that users of Apple phones will now expect services to work like this. It's going to be another case of just the bar raising for everyone else in the industry. Listeners to Credit Shift will know that we believe that intelligent virtual assistants connected to your financial information will be a massive disruption to all financial services players. And with these announcements from Apple around AI, it was timely to see an article from Simon on FinTech Brain Food around how an assistant could interact with the services connected to Apple Wallet. 12% of consumers use mobile wallets as their primary payment method. Half, 6%, use Apple Wallet for that. Now, with a new tap-to-pay person-to-person service, this is sure to grow even further. Simon says, imagine getting insights and recommendations for every card, account, or loyalty card in your wallet. Apple could help you select the card that maximizes rewards at checkout, set up a savings habit, and even ensure you're maximizing your tax advantages with brokerage and savings. With Siri, you could talk to your money and get coaching on improving. The ability to handle pictures and documents means Apple could make sense of your taxes in the context of your transactions. And I'm sure we'll see it do things like take pictures of documents, etc. Of course, Apple could do many of these things quickly, but it won't be ready for the market until it's very sure that the UX and privacy are robust. Simon is making the point that after years of deep commitments to chip design, privacy, and Apple Wallet, Apple is in a prime position to significantly disrupt your relationships with your customers, showing again how quickly this market turns and how deeply you have to think about your AI strategy. The EU stepped in under the Digital Markets Act and said that Apple had to allow other AI services to operate on its platform. If you are using software at all, you have probably received notices recently saying that they are going to start collecting your data to train their AI services. Slack were early gates on this, and Figma pushed out one a few weeks ago as well. Europe isn't going to fall for the move fast and break things mantra again. Not even the impact that social media has in Europe is going to move the European legislators on this, I think. And OpenAI isn't the only company in town in this space, far from it. The final puzzle piece is for companies to be able to get into this future of agent-first architectures that can use many tools, will be brought forward by other companies like Anthropic, the company behind the artificial intelligent assistant Claude. And the main challenge here lies in creating accurate descriptions for each of the tools that Claude might use, and then that Claude could determine which tool to use in what situation. So the descriptions of the tool must be really clear for the AI model to select the appropriate tool. And that's going to happen. Apple's going to have to open up to these other services in Europe. It's claiming that it's not going to release the AI-powered services in Europe, but we'll just see. In the third section of our Credit Shift update, we like to bring you some reports on AI and financial services that might inform your own strategic planning process. Last month, Deloitte launched their State of AI report, Now Decides Next, Getting Real About Generative AI. It's based on primary research with over 2,000 businesses and technology leaders and how they are actively deploying and scaling Gen AI today. They break the challenge into 4 categories: value creation, scaling, trust, and evolving the workforce. Organizations that reported high or very high levels of Gen AI expertise are scaling Gen AI much more aggressively and are achieving their desired benefits to a much greater degree than others. They then plan to invest these savings back into more innovation and then into continuously improving operations. We've seen this story play out before with just general digitization strategies. Companies that get good at digitization, save money, reinvest in digital, get more and more benefits. And I think we're just seeing the same thing play out here with Gen AI. Getting to scale while essential to driving out value, does bring further challenges. Common areas of concern include data security, data quality, and explainability of GenAI outputs, and the workers' mistrust or lack of familiarity with GenAI tools. Only half the sample of respondents have made GenAI tools available to employees, and even then it was to 20% or less of the employees. The report also cites two aspects of trust that still need specific addressing. Trust in the quality and reliability of GenAI's output, and trust from workers that the technology will make their jobs easier without replacing them. A really unexpected outcome from this survey for me was that more organizations said they expect the technology to increase headcount, i.e. 39% of respondents said this, than to decrease headcount, 22% of respondents. And perhaps this is related to the need in the short term to hire GenAI and data expertise. Executives see this as a transformational technology, so the immediate ROIs are not deal breakers, and leading organizations are scaling both vertically and horizontally. The horizontal office type implementations are seen as giving broad-based productivity gains, and the vertical industry-focused implementations are seen as being more strategically impactful. For the industries not being heavily impacted today by GenAI technologies, they can take a less aggressive stance and just observe what's happening elsewhere and watch and learn. It's a really good report. Again, we connect to that report in our show notes. I advise you to make some time and just grab a cup of coffee and peruse over it. It's well worth your time. I hope you were able to find something in this week's Credit Shift update to help you stay on top of the game, and we look forward to joining you again next week. And we'll also have some more news on our schedule of one-to-one interviews for the late autumn schedule for the Credit Shift interview. So keep an eye on us, and don't forget to check out the Webio.com website to see what's all new with Webio and all the amazing prizes and things we're doing at Webio.